Hey everyone, I'm Tanner151 and this is my video on how Gears of War Judgment could improve because from what I'm hearing, I'm not really hearing a lot of good things. Even though I already have a pre-order and I'm going to buy it and going to try it out and review it, I'm hearing some things that are just not sitting well with me, and I'm a pretty decent Gears of War fan. I just want to point some of these out and let you guys know. Here we go. Now, this is what we know about Gears of War Judgment. There is no down but not out, where you get hurt and you're in that like crawl thing, kind of like a last stand like. It's not in versus anymore, except for overrun game mode, which is combining Horde and Beast. Now, it's still in campaign from what I've seen, and I don't see why they should take that out of campaign, but it's not in versus, which is a huge thing. That is a huge thing about Gears of War. Alright, number 2. Quick match and ranked match have returned, just like Gears 3. There are no more locusts in multiplayer anymore, or versus as it's called, other than overrun game mode, because overrun's class-based. Versus is now COG versus COG. Red COG versus blue COG. That is stupid. This isn't Halo. This isn't Team Fortress 2. This is Gears of War. It is COG versus Locust. I don't know why that is just a stupid way to take it out. Number 4. You now have the ability to create a class similar to most games. It's not as in-depth as Call of Duty, but in what I've been reading and watching is that this created class system, you can choose what your primary weapon will be. It can be a hammer burst, a lancer, a gnasher, a sawed-off, what have you. And then you have your pistol. Then you can choose what grenade you want. And then I'm like, whoa, 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 what? You can put grenades on your class? That's stupid. Grenades are power weapons. They're supposed to be pick-up weapons, not something that you have by default. But I heard that they're nerfing the damage. Number 5 is that there's no more stopping power or damage boost on weapons. Now, the stopping power, I'm kind of glad, because the stopping power, if you didn't know from Gears 2 and 3, was if you were shot, you were slowed down. It got to the point at sometimes where if you were going at a certain angle and you were shot, you would pretty much stop running. You would move a little bit, but you would stop running and you would just get destroyed by that person shooting you. And the damage boost, which is the white bar when you reload, well, one's like a solid white and the rest is a light gray. Well, now that solid white is pretty much gone. It's now just like that light gray. You just reload faster. There's no damage boost on your weapon if you reload the quickest. There's no like that first 10 bullets or first clip is all powerful or whatever. That's not there anymore. And I heard that was for consistency, because if you got one shot, it's because they active reloaded. It's to balance it out so you don't know if they actually one-shot it or if they active reloaded one shot or just one shot due to the range or something. I can see where they're going with this. I understand it. I'm neutral on it. I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I'm just neutral on it. There are new weapons such as the Marksa, the Breach Shot, and the Bushka. They're the UIR weapons, Union of Independent Republics. They were the enemy that the COG was fighting before Emergence Day in the Pendulum Wars. Now, it's good that they're adding new weapons, I guess, to add more variety. But the Marksa and the Breach Shot are the same weapon. No, I'm not kidding. They are literally the same weapon. The Marksa is the UIR sniper rifle, and the Breach Shot is the Locust taking the Marksa and changing it a little bit. That's literally the description of it on Gears Wikia or something like that. I read somewhere. The Breach Shot is the Locust version of the Marksa. Not like its comparison. It's literally the Marksa. Now, they did take the bullets out. They took the how many bullets are in it, and they took the scope off, but they added a blade on the bottom of it where if you melee, it does more damage. And it has a very powerful shot, more powerful than the Marksa, but it's literally the same look and weapon. It seems kind of lazy there. Except for, the removal of the scope and the added blade at the bottom. And the Locust brute force looking on it. Now, the graphics, the look, and the challenges, like when they pop up in the corner at the red bar, they look just like Gears 3. There is virtually no difference. The sawed-off and the retro are back, and the sawed-off now is a two-shot instead of one. It goes bang, bang instead of just bang. Now, a lot of people are worried that that's like, oh my god, it's overpowered. Well, they might have nerfed it down. If it releases with the damage of what it is now and like the range of it as it is now in Gears 3, then that's okay. Maybe even more nerf damage since it's a two-shot. That would be okay. I don't really have a problem with that. The campaign is set 30 days after E-Day. New enemy types such as the Rager, which is a new locust that apparently died off early in the war due to its bad tactics. That's what it said. Is they look like a drone, like a very thin drone, but once they get in their Rager mode, they become big, buff, and red, like the female locust that destroys everything. I can't remember the name right now, but they're like that almost. And the new bad guy boss is called Karn. He was the general before Rom. The campaign's now a little more non-linear. If you get cog tags here and there throughout the game, there will be the cog omen. You go over there and find the cog tag, pick it up, and go with it. But once you get that tag, you now have unlocked the declassified version of that mission. So you get to play like an extra part, or the next coming up area is harder, where you have less ammo, you have different guns, so forth, this and that. There might be more enemies, this and that, stuff like that. So it's adding more variety to it. And again, I'm neutral on this. It's good that they're adding variety to it. It sounds kind of dumb that during the trial, which that's what the campaign is a huge trial and flashbacks, that they're like, oh wait, no, this isn't what happened. This is what really happened. And it's like, okay, very inconsistent there. Also, from what I've heard, is that there are only 4 game modes, which doesn't make sense. There is Free For All, which is new, Overrun, which is new, Team Deathmatch, which is from Gears 3, but it's been changed. I'll get into that later. And Domination, which is pretty much what Call of Duty Domination and Battlefield Conquest is, just now it's rings instead of flags. And that's, I mean, I'm okay with the Domination thing, that's whatever. New game modes are always fun. But they limited it to 4 game modes. They took out Executioner, Warzone, and due to no down but not out, they don't need a war like Execution. And there are no one life game modes in Judgment. That has been a huge thing. Gears 1, I think all the game modes were one life and one life per round. Then Gears 2 they added Annex, and Gears 3 they opened it up. I thought a decent amount to where, you know, King of the Hill, Team Deathmatch, or multi-spawn. I thought that was pretty good. But this step right here is just, it's dumb. It's not smart. It's like, hey, fans of the series, we know you don't like this or that, and we'll take those out, but we'll also take out really loved features. Alright, have fun, buy our game, $60. It's very rude, almost. It's almost rude to the fans. I understand they're trying to make it more streamlined and more open for new players, but if you're insulting your core base, you're not going to build a good foundation for the future. Now, reticles are permanent now. They like when you zoom in previous Gears of Wars, you would have to zoom in to see your reticle, but now you don't even have to zoom in. It's a lightish gray, medium gray, but when you zoom in, it's the normal white, solid white. So that will help with more of hip firing, which is, it's for shotguns, you know, everyone's going to hip fire, but I think that's going to make it too easy. That's going to make it too easy for new people to just hip fire with a shotgun or a sawed-off even, or to spray with a Lancer. I don't really see why they were doing that. And I really think that was put in there for a cosmetic change. It wasn't put in there because they really thought about the gameplay design or anything. No, they put it in there so people at a glance can go, oh, that's Gears Judgment. Because other than that reticle thing, and maybe a few things here and there on the screen that are different, and do different maps, of course, is the game looks just like Gears 3. So it's mainly a cosmetic change, I think. And when you get a kill or an assist, it tells you in brackets. So if I kill someone and it pops up 175, it'll say kill, it'll say bracket kill bracket 1 plus 175. I know I got a kill. You don't have to tell me, game. I know I got a kill. Now in Call of Duty, it tells you you killed this or you killed that. That's always been there. This has never been in Gears of War. It's like, okay, thanks for telling me. I'm pretty sure I knew I killed him. Or if you get an assist, it now says assist in brackets plus 50 or whatever. It's like, I know I got an assist. You don't need to tell me. That it seems very unnecessary. And again, I think that's a cosmetic change. It's a cosmetic change. So, as I said, at a glance, people go, "Oh, that's Gears Judgment." So don't get it confused with Gears 3 because they're just so similar looking that people are going to get them confused. And a lot of people are calling Gears Judgment Gears 3 DLC, which I can't really deny because it looks just like it. The maps are more non-linear, except overrun maps. Apparently, there's only like two ways to really get anywhere, like two corridors or paths. But in the other maps, they're non-linear now, to where you can go up and down. They're more vertical. You can actually jump off your building onto the street. You'll get hurt or possibly die. I don't know. But you have the option to do that. In previous Gears of War games, if there was like this one like 6-inch little drop, you couldn't do it. You could not do it. You would have to go down a ramp or some other pathway, but you cannot go down that 6 inches or a foot or whatever. Now you can, which I'm actually okay with that. That's not bad. Now number 15. I saw this on the Free For All Streets gameplay that was released a month or two ago. When a guy picked up a boom shield, I almost said riot shield. When he picked up a boom shield and was running with it, yeah, running. I'm like, oh, okay, he can run. He can finally get somewhere. But he was running nearly as fast as someone without the shield. That shield's heavy, okay? How are they running as fast? That doesn't seem very, I don't know, this doesn't seem right. And not only are they running as fast, or almost as fast, they can now run with a Lancer or a Gnasher, not just a pistol. I think they should put it back to just a pistol and reduce the run speed to somewhat fast, but not nearly as fast as it is right now. That seems just kind of strange, and I don't know. I don't really like it because I can just see people with that shield and a Gnasher running into a room, getting like a quad feed and just having that shield protect them. I don't really see the balance in it, personally. Also, the game's had a 1.5 year development. That's not a lot. At least 1.5 year development. From Gears 3 to when it launches, it'll be a year and a half, give or take a few weeks or a month or whatever. But then again, People Can Fly probably did start at least the groundworks before Gears 3 came out. I can't confirm that. I don't know. Nothing's been said, but that could be why the game is like looked pretty much finished as of like 4 or 5 months ago, at least from what they were showing. But then again, it just looks so similar that you know they didn't work a lot with the engine. They said they did, but it looks just the same. And not a lot of people know this, but Gears of War Judgment is not made just by Epic Games. It's made by People Can Fly, a company owned by Epic Games, but they're based in Poland, and they are doing at least half to possibly 2/3 of the game's development work on Judgment. They're possibly doing 2/3 of it by themselves, and they are smaller. When I last checked, their roster was about 50 people, 50 or 60 people. They had that like roundabout number or roundabout symbol next to it, and that's not a lot of people. I think Epic Game had like a 200 or something. Now, Epic is helping the game. They are contributing towards it. I think they laid the groundwork, with the engine and everything, helping with the campaign, helping writing the story, or helping with the story and everything, background, all that. But People Can Fly is doing most of the grunt work, you could say. And I think the reason why the game's looking so non-Gears is because of their quote-unquote fresh look at the game, at the franchise. I don't think it's going to help. I think it's going to hurt the franchise in the long run. I think Gears 1 through 3 were good games. They all were solid. They all improved on each other. But I think Judgment is, while it does add a lot of new things, I think it's a step back. The control scheme is different. It's not just, the D-pad changes your weapons. LB button is like the command overview. I don't know what that actually. Sorry, I don't know what the actual word for it is, but it all grays out and gets fuzzy at the corners. But the reasons why they did this make sense. They did it because it was more clunky that way. The old control scheme, but the new control scheme is so original. It's so ordinary, streamlined, casual That's like, oh, you still know this is a Gears game, right? But they're like, no, we're making a modern Gears of War ops. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. I wish they'd have the classic control scheme still. That's what I'm just going to say. You can play as multiple people during the campaigns. Kilo Squad, you play as each one at least once, I'm pretty sure. That's as far as I know. And you play the members of Kilo Squad during the Overrun game mode. No definite word as whether Horde or Beast will or will not be in the game. I don't know. I have not heard any, yes, there will be Horde or yes, there'll be Beast. But since there's Overrun, they might have taken those out because that's more stuff for them to work on. And with a year and a half development, we probably won't see Beast. We might see Horde, but it won't be like really improved on or anything. Grenades don't stick to walls anymore, and they have a reduced blast radius, but they can stick to people if timed right. Like if you stick them on the wall, you throw them and they make that sound. But they're also given to you by default. They're no more a power weapon that you pick up on the ground. They are a default grenade, which just makes very little sense to me. That this grenades are going to be flying everywhere, and with the quick grenade button at LB, quick grenade button, they're really going to be flying everywhere. It's going to be like Domination and Call of Duty. So it's going to blow up all over your face. Mantle kick returns, and it looks just as glitchy as it did in Gears of War 3. I saw in the Gears Judgment free-for-all trailer, someone mantle kicked someone. Didn't even look like they hit him, and the woman flew 5 feet backwards, and he shotgunned her. Vulcan is now a versus weapon. I'm okay with this, whatever. As long as it's not on all the maps all the time. Reticle Bloom's back. I think I stated that earlier. It's back, and it's what it was in Gears 3. Hopefully it won't be like that for the long shot, though, because my controller's a little messed up, so if I move just a little bit, it blooms, and I don't like that. And also they have this new campaign, like, stat tracker. It gives you stars based on how good you did that game, so you've got, like, 2.5 stars. You want to go back and get all the way up to 3. I think it's at least to 3 stars. And it seems very similar to the arcade campaign in Gears 3, where, you know, if you get score and everything for doing this, and that seems to be in this new campaign, but I don't know if it's in all parts of the campaign or they have their separate, you know, standard campaign where there's nothing, you just go out and kill, or if this stat tracking campaign is the entire campaign, if that makes sense. Like it's the only version of the campaign and you always get it no matter what, like all the stars, the ratings, the points popping up and everything. I don't know. I haven't seen anything confirming if it's the only thing or just one of 2 things. Details are low. I'm not really solid on this, so just letting y'all know. Confirmed weapons so far have been Lancer, Retro Lancer, Sawed-Off, Gnasher, Hammerburst, Classic Hammerburst from Gears 1, Hammer Dawn, Boomshot, Digger, Longshot, Snub Pistol, Vulcan, Mortar, Breach Shot, Marxa, and the Bushka. Now, there are probably some other guns. I haven't seen any Boltok footage, so I don't want to confirm that. Haven't seen any Gorgon, so I don't want to confirm that either. There are possibly maybe some new weapons they haven't even announced, but I don't know, so we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, here's something that I think needs to be changed in Gears of War Judgment, is the create a class. I think it's too open, if that makes sense, because you can choose what grenade you want, like Incinerary, or I think there's a stem grenade in normal multiplayer. I know it's in Overrun, but I don't know about normal multiplayer versus. And there's the frag grenade. You can actually choose which one you want. You'll have 1, maybe 2. I'm not sure. I've seen different gameplays of that. Maybe they're testing out, deciding which one later. But the create class, you literally change everything in it. And for Gears of War, that's not really what I want. I want something that was like Gears 3, where you could choose 1 of 3 rifles, 1 of 2 shotguns. I thought that was a good system. You could change it every time after you die if you wanted to get the right balance. I like that. I thought it was very solid in Gears 3. Then they're like, no, let's have a whole new created class system, full blown out one. I just don't think it's going to work that well for Gears of War. You can change your pistol, rifle, shotgun, but I mean, you can change 1 primary. You have a primary and a secondary, very similar to Call of Duty and Battlefield. And your primary can be a shotgun, a rifle, or the Marska or whatever. but you can't have a shotgun and a rifle. You can only have one, then the pistol, which is always a snub pistol. I think Boltok and the Gorgon, if they are in the game, they're still pickup weapons. But I think a more limited version would be better, where you would have a rifle, and you could pick one, like was in Gears 3, shotgun, where you could pick one, just like Gears 3, pistol, where you can choose between a snub and a Boltok. I honestly don't know why a Boltok is a pickup weapon or a power weapon. I mean, it's really powerful, but has that slow rate of fire, and a lot of people aren't really that good with it. And the people that are, they're amazing. But I think you should have one. You should have the Boltok and the snub for you already, and the Gorgon can be a pickup. The grenade, you can only have one smoke grenade and an ability. Now, the ability is not in Judgment, not from what I've heard. It is not in Judgment. Haven't heard anything about abilities in Gears of War Judgment. This is something that I think would be pretty cool. Then again, I really do like Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, which all have their own abilities, so that might be influencing me heavily. If you guys think it's a good or a bad idea, let me know, but I'll explain more of it later. Now, for the created class, in my version of the created class, these should be the rifles, the Lancer, Hammerburst, Retro Lancer, and the Breach Shot, and the Classic Hammerburst. Classic Hammerburst needs to be balanced though, because it is a 6-shot and could be very powerful. So maybe have a very noticeable hesitation between each shot. Like you can't like just finger it, where you can just like pull the trigger multiple times and just fire it all off. Maybe have it where there's a pause between each shot that you can't override. The Lancer is default, then the shotguns, the Gnasher, which is default, the sawed-off, then maybe a UIR shotgun, a pump action with 5 shots or 6, slightly more damage than a Gnasher but less range, more than a sawed-off, and takes longer to reload over the Gnasher and not as fast to fire, but again over the sawed-off. Call it the Brawler, the Shredder, or something like that, and make it look almost like the shotgun from World at War, where it has like the stick on one end and go. I really like that. It was like a really cool look to it. Since the UIR seem to be more, I don't know, they just have really cool guns. I think that would have been a really cool gun to fit their like style. And for Gears of War, which is a shotgun game, like it's dominated by Gnashers in Gears 1 and Gears 2, and even in Gears 3, just not as much. They haven't added any shotguns other than a sawed-off from Gears 3. They should add a new shotgun, at least for a little more variety. But no, they add 3 new rifles, the Breach Shot, Marska, and the Bushka, which is not a rifle. Sorry, I correct myself. But still, they should at least add one more new shotgun. That could be between the Gnasher and the sawed-off, just for a little more fun. And now for the pistols, I think that the snub pistol should be default, like I said, but you could also have the option for the Boltok. And the Gorgon, maybe they could use it as a third pistol for your created class, if only they fix it to where they did it to where you can't zoom in farther than your normal aim down sight. Like you can zoom in and aim, but you can't like click the left stick to zoom in further. I think that would just be a little more for balancing right there. Now, there are power weapons, of course, and only on the versus maps. No, they're not going to be in created class. The power weapons should not be in created class, and there can only be 2 power weapons per map in any of these combos. But some weapons like the Longshot and the Marska cannot be on the same map at the same time, nor can the Boomshot or the Bushka, which are essentially the same thing. These are all the ones that are in there that I know of: Boomshot, Digger, Bushka, Marska, Longshot. Flamethrower, I'm not actually sure of. I haven't seen footage of it, but I'm going to assume it's in there. The Vulcan and the Hammer of Dawn. Now, like in Gears of War, you could have like 2 long shots on either side of the map with another power weapon in the middle, or 2 power weapons in the middle. That would be better. With say both sides have long shots, then there are 2 power weapons, one on the left middle and the other on the right middle, or whatever, what have you. Then you pick it like one be a boom shot and the other would be a Hammer of Dawn or a Vulcan, plus the 2 long shots that are in the game by default at the beginning at each other's spawns. That would be good, which is what it was in Gears of War 3, just with these power weapons right here. That would be pretty fun, I guess. Now, I think that Down But Not Out should be in the game It should be in the game by default. It is an important factor of the Gears of War franchise. It has been there since the beginning. It needs to be back there. It adds execution back, and Warzone has the ability to expand your options while gaming in Gears of War Judgment. It would be, I don't know why they took it out. It makes no sense. It it makes no sense. It should be back in there. It's a must need. Now this last part is personal opinion. I'm neutral on this. I could see it in the game, and if it's done right, it could work, and if it's done wrong, it would be really bad. But these are just options. Tell me if you guys would think this could work in Gears of War, or tell me no. These are essentially perks. I won't lie. Perks are specializations from battlefields, but they're called abilities. And Survivor is you're able to crawl and down but not out 35% faster. Now, I thought 50% would be better, but then I'm like, no, that's too fast. Then like 25, but no, that might be too slow. 35% is fast if you're on, well, I almost said if you're on your feet, you're on the ball. But if you're on the ball, then you can crawl away and get behind cover decently fast and wait for a teammate. Then again, if you crawl, you can't really just push yourself back up. So it has been balanced out. It can work. Reflex is the ability to pick up weapons 50 times or 50% faster. And the picking up 50% faster, that is pretty much what it is now in Gears of War Judgment. Just tone how fast you pick up the weapons in Gears of War Judgment to what it is in the previous Gears of War games. Then if this reflex ability was in, then that would be the speed that Gears of War Judgment is at currently now at picking up weapons. If that makes sense. Like in Gears 3, have Gears Judgment's pickup speed be the same as Gears 3. Then with this ability, reflex, you pick it up as what we've seen in Gears of War Judgment videos. That's what I mean. A demolition expert, you'd be able to carry two smoke grenades by default, and can be able to pick up more than 2 frag grenades. In my version of Judgment, you can only carry max 2 frag grenades unless you have this ability. You can carry up to 4, which is what it is in Gears of War, all other Gears of War games, where you pick up 2 sets of 2 and carry 4. This, I'm saying just to nerf it down a little bit, you can carry at max 2 if you pick one batch up, but if you pick up another batch, you won't be able to pick it up. But with this ability, you would be. Oh, I forgot about the the quick heal. Quick heal, you heal quicker by 15%. Now this doesn't mean that you while as getting shot you heal quicker. No, it's after you've not been hit for just a second, then you start to heal again. You heal just a little bit quicker, and I think that 15% wouldn't be that bad. Now Watcher, your tags on enemies last an extra 3 seconds. In Gears of War 3, you zoom in and click the left thumbstick, I believe, and it would tag the enemy. Well, this is what it would last another 3 seconds, because in Gears of War 3 I think it lasted about 5 seconds, then the icon above their head disappeared. This lasts another 3 seconds and helps your teammates out. I think that'd be pretty good in some game modes. And then I have Intelligence, which is a countdown above power weapon spawns. It comes out 10 seconds before they actually spawn. So say there's 15 seconds until the boom shot spawns. You will see nothing, just like an empty circle where the boom shot would spawn. But then it would pop up, at 10 seconds it will pop up 10, a little thing that only those with intelligence can see. And go from 10, 9, 8, and it'll count down. So you have time to say, hey teammate, go over there, it's spawning. Or you can go over there. Whatever's your dandy or whatever. And stability is less recoil when shot and less reticle bloom, fire spread when shooting. So when you're shooting, your bullets don't go all over the screen, they are a little more focused. And if you get hit while shooting, you don't flinch as much. Those are my abilities. Now, I know they're not great, and I know they can be yay or nay for a Gears of War game. I just want to know if your guys' opinion on that. I'm kind of yay and nay for it. I think if done right, it could be a decent addition to Gears of War Judgment. But it could possibly be too noobish or powerful. I understand that. So just let me know, guys, your opinions on that. And I think overall, if Gears of War Judgment just changed a few things, well, actually a lot now that I've learned more about it, I really think Gears of War Judgment could have been good if given a longer development time, if Down But Not Out was in, and other key features were in the game, but they are not, and that is, it's going to hurt the franchise. It's going to hurt Gears Judgment, and it's definitely going to hurt Gears of War franchise, and I'm worried about the future of this franchise. I'm just going to let you guys know all that, and hopefully this was informative. It helped spark your imagination for Gears of War. And as always, thank you for watching my video. Please like it, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.